What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails Through Daybreak. Last time we started the final day here, after a very stressful end of a second day. Melchior and Olympia, as she's called, obviously two people from the garden, the same people, the same garden that Swin and Nadia were able to escape from in the 3 and 9 story. They showed up at the observatory and basically, for all intents and purposes, blew it the fuck up. And Quattro probably would have died if it wasn't for Reset pushing him out of the way and taking the blow herself. And then we found out that a lot, if not most, of Reset's body is mechanical due to some kind of incident that must have happened a year ago. We don't know the details as to what happened to her. We just know that there was something that caused her body to be more mechanical. So now we're on the third day trying to... Oh, and the biggest piece of information is Professor Callahan's not actually dead. He transferred his consciousness into an AI. So by all intents and purposes, Professor Callahan is dead. Like, the real him is dead. Just all of his memories and everything else were put into this AI. His personality, his memories, his thought patterns. So it technically, all intents and purposes, it's not the real Professor Callahan. The real Professor Callahan is the one we saw floating in the lake. But this does have all of his memories, all of his desires, all that stuff. So now we're trying to figure out where they ran off to so we can put a stop to things. But first, we're gonna see what kind of 4 SPGs are here waiting for us. Oh yeah, and Marduk is here. They have their floating ship in the sky right there. And they're just basically here to keep the city safe after what happened until the government sends their people over here to handle things. So we have half a day to uncover everything with this mystery. Okay. Kayla has a job for us. Oh, a request from the CID, eh? It's intriguing for sure. I wonder what they want to talk to us about. It's not gonna say no to a potential rendezvous with Kayla. How about you? Even though she's right here, presumably. And I believe that's the only side job we have to do, so may as well do it now. Ah, so you checked the bulletin board, didn't you? Me writing a 4 SPG. I never thought I'd see the day. I mean, you also gave Reen a job back in the capital. Or not even specifically in the capital, just in Erebonia. It's not too much different. It still wasn't your line of work. Second Lieutenant Kayla. Wouldn't have killed you to be more direct instead of going the 4 SPG route. So am I speaking to Kayla or am I speaking to the CID? You're sharp. This may be a bit bureaucratic, but I've submitted this request in the CID's stead. Yeah, so I guess, like, when she was worried about her brother, she was doing it as herself, not as a member of the Calvardian army. I mean, she was still working as that, but she was more concerned about her brother in a personal sense. But yeah. It concerns the armed machines that were released in the city during yesterday's attack. We've confirmed that around half of their numbers were destroyed, while most of the others retreated with Almada. Let me guess, this is going to be a monster extermination thing. We also received word that 2 high-speed spec units might still be at large within the city. Seriously? We did encounter a few machines fitting that description yesterday. I see. Yeah, the police probably have their hands full with them. You need a cleanup crew. But Marduk and the guild don't really tickle your fancy, have I got that right? Exactly. Marduk's involvement was the result of the president's more heavy-handed approach. We're not too fond of that. This is more a matter of professional pride than anything. Special forces are due to arrive in the evening, and they're sure to complicate things. We'd much rather solve this problem ourselves. So you want to loan us out to the CID for the day, is that it? It's not just the CID, the Principality request is too, I assume. And whatever the case, we really can't have those things running loose. Makes sense. Ish. Out of curiosity, Was Rune Kincaid's idea? He pulled together his own task force to address the problem. They're negotiating with the president's office as we speak. At the risk of divulging too many details, he's been pushing for a separate division meant specifically for these tasks. Yeah, that tracks. Guy's resourceful to a fault. This really is a job for Marduk of the Guild, but I guess the CID doesn't want to swallow its pride. We ain't exactly free, though, is the thing. We got our jobs to do. I guess we can look into those on the side. Lay it on me. Man, you might find a lead or something. You have my gratitude. Here's what we know about these rogue models. They're most probably the same as the models employed by the Vegas films in Tharbad. Oh, those assholes. Oh, the samurai thing? 2 of them at that. You fought them before? They sound like a real hassle. Yep, that's because they are, but how are they hiding in the city to begin with? They're too big. They got some kind of optical camo or something? Not to our knowledge, the Ix Alba has been patrolling and scanning the city from above since yesterday. Marduk has cleared out the smaller units we found, but the 2 large units have yet to be located. Kincaid does have a theory. He suspects that they're hiding in plain sight using some sort of radar jamming device to avoid detection. I do remember hearing about special materials that can absorb or deflect orbital waves, which means they're probably looking for a container made of such material, likely brought into the city recently. Either that or a van big enough to hold them. Probably simple to deck one of those out in anti-radar stuff. No idea where Almada's driving it around themselves, though, or if they contracted that one out to somebody. Think you could look into the suspicious containers and transport vehicles for us? We'll focus on the stuff that's out on the road. We split up, and we should have this cleared up pretty quickly. Understood. I'll mobilize the local authorities and notify Verne and the Artisans Guild. If either of us makes any headway, let's keep each other posted. Thank you very much. So what's the move? We hunt down every wayward van in town? We'll be out here all day. True, traffic in and out has plenty of vehicles that remain inside city limits. The main arteries fan out in all sorts of directions. Searching them all would be too time-consuming. We got cops on site, so we can leave the crowd control to them. We just gotta pinpoint where the transport is most likely to be. Newtown and the Artisanal District make the most sense to me. They've got the most traffic, freight especially. We get lucky, or I guess unlucky in this case. We might fish us up a robot. Roger, so we need to find people who drive stuff a lot. Let's start with asking around. I do believe this is, I know I've said this multiple times because I thought it was the end. I do believe this is our last actual, like, 4 SPG for the chapter. So we want to go up here. Yeah, because there's the road up by Ajay Canyon. And we got all these Marduk employees out here. We got police and people everywhere. Oh yeah, let's talk to our shop buddy. The sketchy transport vehicle? Let me think about that for a sec. A lot of cars go by, so... Well, now that you mention it, there was something funny this morning. There was? What did you see? Any details would be great, no matter how small. So you know we've got the whole lockdown thing. It's got me thinking about how I wanted to do business today. And I figured, you know, people are still hungry. People need to pick me up. So I made my way out here, albeit a little later than usual. And this big old transport van comes up, and something about it just seems weird. Weird? Were they driving all funny? The opposite, actually. There was this little empty soda can sitting in the road. And all the transport just ran right over it, like no attempt to avoid it. The whole van kind of shook a little. I got spooked and bolted out of the way, but the van just drove by like nothing happened. The nerves on that driver, honestly, stone cold. Huh, sounds like there's more of the story. That's what I'm thinking, yeah, because then it turned right at the fork of the road ahead. And when it did, I heard a thud. I think whatever it was moving got shuffled around. At first I thought maybe it was some machining tool thunking it in there, but you'd really think they'd stack them so they don't do that. But like before, it just drove off without a care in the world. I almost felt like I was just imagining things. I see. Did you catch what make the vehicle was? Yeah, it was a red star. Big one. Probably some delivery company. But it didn't have a logo or branding or anything on the van. It was just unmarked. Kind of weird. Yeah, that's a bit whack. Thanks a bunch, bud. That's some really good info. Glad to hear it. Anything to help. God knows we all need it right now. But I heard things are looking up. They said they're going to open the roads back up tonight. Just got to hold out a little longer. We'll find a way. Thank you very much. We like this guy. What's his name again? Willie. We like Willie in his roaming cafe. He's a good guy. Alright, let's head to the artisanal district now. Oh, I guess we gotta check in with the guild later. Hey, Jason. You want to know if I've seen a suspicious freight truck? Bit of an odd thing to ask. Well, yes it is. Sorry for dumping that on. Nah, I'm just giving you guff. I did actually see something like that last night. You did? And what was suspicious about it? Well, deliveries last night were all way behind schedule because of the craziness in the city. We eventually got everything sorted out, even with the old eye in the sky watching us all. So I finally wrapped up my work. It's late at night, and I'm tired as hell, so I start driving toward my home and the edge of town. I'm waiting on one of the lights, and then I see this giant red star truck pull up next to me. That tracks. It had a really weird color scheme to it. Never seen a red star painted like that. Had to be from out of town, I figured. But I figure, hey, he's a tired old dog like me driving at ass o'clock. I'll give him a wave. And I look out my window and, nah, forget it. When I say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous. I must have just been seeing things. Hey, come on, don't leave us hanging. You might not have been seeing things after all. Won't you tell us, please? Alright, just don't laugh at me, okay? I looked out the window, and there was no one behind the wheel. Just nothing. Huh. What do you mean? Just nobody in the driver's seat at all? I'm as puzzled as you are. Before I could really process it, the light turned green and the truck rolled on away. I had to put my eyes back on the road after that. I never saw that truck again. It only really dawned on me when I got home. Maybe the driver was just on the short side? Their truck was definitely taller than mine, too. Maybe I just couldn't see him? Either that, or again, I was tired as all get out. I might have just been seeing things. Haha, so yeah, that's how it seemed to me at the time, but honestly, it was probably nothing. Moral of the story here is everybody needs their sleep. You can't go burning the midnight oil just because you can, you know? Lesson learned, yeah, we'll take care of ourselves. Take it easy on yourself, yeah? That sounds like the kind of thing a single good night's sleep won't fix. Oh, for sure. The city sealed off until tonight, so I'm going to try and take it slow while we've got nothing to do. Well, there you have it. So, AI-controlled car, possibly? Nice, we got more clues than I expected. The two accounts we heard both involved a Red Star transport. Which leads me to believe we're dealing with one and only one vehicle. I'm still freaking out about the whole driverless truck thing. Don't blame ya. The fact... oh, man. The fact that it happened at night turns this whole thing into a bona fide ghost story. There's probably... man, I just got something stuck in my throat. There's probably a logical explanation, though, and I'm sure Quattro can provide it. Wait, for real? Oh, is it related to the technology you have insider knowledge about? Correct. I believe it's utilizing tech that is currently in the R&D phase of development in many countries. It's called an automated vehicle. It allows a person to go from place to place without lifting a finger, because a holocore is doing the driving. Oh boy. We're really going to go into the Terminator era at this point. The fact that it kept going in spite of empty soda can makes me strongly suspect it's an AI-controlled vehicle. My suspicions were correct then. Ren told me a little about this before. Wow, that's so cool. It means it wasn't a ghost. Phew. Well, you never know. Maybe there was a driver until his shitty job worked him to death. Now he lives on as a vengeful ghost behind the wheel. Wait, what's that? Oh shit, it's right behind you, Farida. Wah, eek. Hey, there's nothing there. You should have seen the look on your face. Why are you like this? You want me to stop calling you a kid? Stop acting like one. Back on topic. There was an incident regarding unmanned driving tech. Everyone in the underworld was going on and on about it at the time. So I'm amazed this thing is driving around the city without causing any problems. It's kind of insane. I'm not too surprised. You could prevent most accidents by connecting it to the traffic management system and the info on the city roads. The technology should be state-of-the-art, in fact. I suspect it's the same tech that caused Professor Callahan's downfall. I'm sorry, Quattro. You've nothing to be sorry for, and I'm alright, I promise. Now's not the time to wallow in sentimentality. So what's the plan, Van? The AI's functionality and patterns can make it quite difficult to capture. I know, normally I'd be fine with dumping this on the second lieutenant of the cops. But I'm a car lover at heart, and I do not like seeing them used as vehicles for bringing weapons into the city. This shit is personal. Figures. Well, any bright ideas, Chief? First order of business is seeing how far this AI can really go. Also, I'm gonna bring on some outside help for this gig. What kind of outside help? Do you have somebody in mind? Yep, I heard they'd be here. Okay. Well, I guess we're headed back to Newtown.
Go, go です。よかったら休んでいきませんか?
Oh, second floor. Alright, who are we catching up with? Oh, hey, it's them. Ah, Van, so did we get that right? You want us Kings of the Road to chase down an AI intruder, huh? Don't underestimate them. You really don't know what you're getting into. Neither do I, to be honest. It does sound hard to believe, yeah. I couldn't really go too in-depth on the call, sorry. That's freaky, a giant van just driving around all by itself? And it's carrying assault robots inside it too? Yeah, it's pretty far-fetched, but honestly, I'm intrigued. We street racers take pride in our skills, and I'm not about to let some bee-boop bastard one-up me. Well, being an AI can process things much faster than you. Without a plan to catch you, it would probably outmaneuver you. No sweat, we'll show that bucket of bolts what real people can do. So what's the plan, Van? Well, here's what I'm thinking. We get my truck and your two cars. Van outlined his three-pronged attack to the group using a map of Basil's roads for reference. Making sure not to overlook the robots themselves, he made combat preparations as well. Okay. Yo, we're all set here. We got our cars ready to go. Want to get the show on the road? Okay. We'll be fine. Let's hit the road. You got a beat on the transport, Quattro? Yes, I pinged them on the traffic network. They're patrolling the streets in a specific pattern. They're due to come by in around 20 minutes. Alright, let's do it. Whoa, there's no way behind the wheel. Tinted glass too, they got the shit figured out. The transport has probably optimized its driving style to evade pursuers. Are you sure you can handle it? Safety first, remember, best of luck. Damn, wish you could take me for a ride like that. Really is her uncle's niece. They're keeping clear of other cars, so fast, so good. How's the traffic looking? No congestion as far as I can tell, if we can get it cornered. We got it. Perfect. Get the CID, the Basil Police, and traffic guys. Right. This is Quattro. I invoke emergency authority to request a temporary road closure. Looks like it gave up. If machines can even do that, I don't know. Perhaps it simply wasn't programmed to handle these sorts of situations. Nah, it ain't that easy. The machines are booting up. Jennifer, Graham, get back. Right. So it was carrying those things. So those are warrior models. I see what you mean. They're from Marduk, no doubt. Yeah, these are the ones from Vegas films, alright. 2 at once is gonna be tough. Be careful, guys. On the flip side, we know how they work. Let's send them to the scrapyard where they belong. Their joints are their weak points, according to Reset. Focus on those. Let's clean them up before word gets on the street. Let's do it. Not as strong as the other one, but... Oh yeah, they heal a bit when they do that. Great. Cool new move. Let's end it. Bye-bye. We, haha, got him. Oh man, that was like a movie shot. That all you got? That felt so much easier than the one we took down Tharbad. Reset's info really came in handy there. How often do you go around fighting things like that? I mean, ain't like we want to, just sorta happens. Now, let's figure out how to shut off that auto drive thingy. Right, I'll get to work on... Huh? Are you shitting me? Get back! There's another one. Ah! Whoa. Huh? Look out. Get away from that thing. A third one? Seriously? Bastard way for us to let our guard down. I'll hold it off. You guys get back up. Guild, Marduk, whoever. I don't care. Van, don't. Huh? What are you... What the? What's that inside her purse? Don't be a hero, dipshit. This is serious. No need. Backup has arrived. Kayla. And... Oh. Shit, close your eyes. He's got a giant gun. Yeah? An optical weapon. That's his Buster Lance. He showed it to me back home once. Incredible. I see now how you earned your title, Kamsin. Oh, is that the name of the weapon? You had the measure of the situation from the very start, didn't you?
あくまで危機管理上の対応に過ぎません。弊社 SC からの状況分析もありましたので、あとはそちらと現地警察、それと彼らに任せましょう。それでは失礼。
Well, he did smile. Kasim. That attack was incredible. He took out the robot in one fell swoop. Went right for the joints too, just like she said. He looked like he barely lifted a finger. Well, this is Marduk's ace we're talking about. That's just what he does. But hey, all's well that ends well, right? We still got the credit for it. That in and of itself is aggravating, but I'm in no position to complain. At any rate, thank you for completing my request. Given you did hunt down 3 units instead of 2, your reward will be adjusted accordingly. Much thanks to you two as well. Aw, he wouldn't do much. I'm just glad we got to have a good race. Talk about stealing the spotlight. What are we, chopped liver? Yeah, I've still got a long way to go before I can rival my brother. I'm just glad we put a stop to those robots for good, even if it wasn't all us. Yeah, you have my thanks as well. Who knows what damage they could have caused if left unchecked. Don't sell yourself short, bud. You helped plenty. You helped a bunch, too. Plenty more where that came from. Let's keep Armada on their toes. Right, of course. With some fiddling, Quattro managed to decouple the auto-drive unit from the transport vehicle. After the local authorities conducted their own investigation, traffic restrictions were lifted and all went back to normal.
これで幕引きだ。報酬が振り込まれたわ。
Alright, now we can just focus on the main story again. So let's head to the artisanal district.
行きましょう。
Since we're here.
いかがしましょう。
Alright, so we got a couple places to check out. First, the guild. Couldn't have timed your arrival better. Friend, we weren't expecting to find you here. You want something from us? The opposite. I have something for you. A little piece of intel. Do you have to go blabbing to them about it? Hey, don't spoil our fun, Killjoy. Ladies don't like a hard ass. Excuse me? Alright, boys, simmer down. Now's not the time for mouthing off. So what's this info about? To the surprise of no one, Almada was behind the explosion in Anchorville. It sounds like a mess. It's a mess out there right now. Even after word got out that Almada had corporate help. Yeah, a lot of high-ranking bracers are stuck there trying to sort everything out. Honestly, I'd really rather be out there right now, but we're tied up here. Yeah, after yesterday, we're not leaving anytime soon. Indeed, I'm still positive that the attack in Anchorville was just a diversion. Basil has to be their main target. In fact, we know a little more about the agents who unleashed the Archisms in the city yesterday. I strongly believe it was the same duo you met in Langport. Them again. Viola and Alexander. They caused a ton of trouble back in Langport too. So they went over there right after being done here. That's certainly not good. That said, we shouldn't have to worry about them here now that Marduk is in town. How many men have they got? We just talking about one area or the whole city? They have enough people on the ground to rival a large Jaeger Corps with vastly better equipment. Their chief of security in particular, he's a real force of nature. Of course, I imagine you all know that pretty well already. Kasim. Yep. Gramps here described him as one of the strongest Jaegers to walk the earth. It's funny, guy's got this baby face. He doesn't even look 30. But baby face? But he's got this vibe like he could kick your ass into next week. At any rate, the city's in good hands with him patrolling around. We still gotta figure out what Almada's planning next, though. Speaking of, you confirmed those two you encountered yesterday were connected to the gardens, correct? Yeah, said they were overseers. That checks out. They've got 4 units and an overseer in charge of each one. The 2 of them seem to be connected to Almada differently, though. Melchior is both an overseer and a high-ranking executive in Almada, but his cohort said she was only a contractor. Talk about complicated. I wonder what the story there is. We're not much the wiser than you guys there, unfortunately. What we do know is the most monstrous mafia and the most vile assassins to ever live have joined hands, and that ain't good. Indeed, after we have Basil taken care of, we'll need to devise a strategy for dealing with them. Have you managed to learn anything more about what Almada's up to here? Unfortunately not. If anything, we were hoping you might have a lead on where Professor Callahan might be. I wish I did, but I'm not too familiar with the geography of this area. I tried to see if I could find anything on the net, but they covered their tracks, unfortunately. Sorry for coming up empty-handed. Don't worry about it. It really wasn't going to be that easy. Aside from that, my only other advice is to keep the septium veins in mind. They're more relevant than you might think. Septium veins? I recall Reset mentioning those recently, actually. They do have a tendency to affect the orbital network in particular. At first glance, they appear unrelated. We had no way to prove they were at all related. Until a certain phenomenon in Crossbelt demonstrated that the two can affect each other under the right conditions. This incident here is eerily reminiscent of what happened a year and a half ago. It's just my hunch, though. Well, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, thanks for the pointer. Well, we're gonna get back to tracking down Callahan. What are you three up to? We'll be doing the rounds to keep the city under control. We can't leave it all to Marduk. Yeah, they're good, don't get me wrong, but they're even shadier than you guys are. I don't trust them. I'll be helping out too, until there's some development that demands my attention. I need to keep an eye on all the other students as well. We're all here waiting for you, Agnes. Odette and Albert too, don't forget that, okay? I won't, please be careful, Ren. Alright, so, not too much information there. Up this way. Hello, Professor. Oh, there he is. I'm glad we didn't have to go on a wild goose chase to find you today. Ah, if it isn't the Spriggan, you look like you have something more to discuss with me. Damn right we do. I imagine you're already privy to the situation, so we don't need to bring you up to speed. Right now, we're trying to get everything under control ourselves before the government intervenes any further. That's why we wanted to ask you about... Me? What exactly do I have to do with all this? I will admit my curiosity is piqued by the developments here. Marduk is an interesting wrinkle in the story, as are Professor Callahan's, shall we say, inadvisable efforts. I do plan to stay and watch how this all pans out, but as I said yesterday, can you at least let me finish before dismissing me? I've had to face a lot of hard truths over the past few days. I've been made to realize just how lacking I am and how much I still have to learn. I know it's impossible to rectify all that overnight, but there are still things I want to protect no matter the cost. All I want is your feedback on a hypothesis of mine. I won't ask for any more of your help than that. Go on. See, because he's trying to help him grow. Even though he's coming off as very dismissive, which he was right there, but he really is just hoping that Quattro can handle this on his own. If he didn't believe in Quattro, I'm sure he would put more effort in himself. Professor Callahan all but lives in the network now, but the goal of his contradicts the actions he took. One thing doesn't add up to me. Why did he simply let the Mafia destroy the Aurora? That's a good question. I agree, that is an obvious contradiction. If they intend to use weapons of mass destruction, they must figure out how to invent and produce them. They simply don't exist yet. Professor Callahan's AI only solves one part of the problem. Even with functional blueprints, there are no means to produce them. The AI is essential in their research efforts. It holds more computational power than any other machine in Basel. And if they no longer have it, it begs another question. How will they produce these nuclear weapons without the means to invent them? An astute observation. Can't say no, can you? Something tells me you wanted to help him all along, in spite of your crotchety old man act. I am simply giving him the feedback he requested. It will be up to him to prove his theory, though judging from what I've heard so far, he'll find the answer soon enough. Yang. You are correct. People do not grow and change overnight, but having watched you, I can see how you've matured over the years. I look forward to seeing you grow into a well-rounded scientist, just as Professor Hamilton did. Thank you, I will. He really is like a brother to you, huh? He's more helpful than he wants to admit. Curious where he's going after he leaves Basel. I guess that ain't my business. I agree, and besides, it's not our place to tell him how to live his life. We need to focus on our own work right now. You're right. Okay. So, I'm assuming the final place we have to go to is the workshop? Yeah, okay. I'm sure we're gonna start piecing some stuff together after we visit the workshop, because that's it, right? Yeah. Oh, wrong way. We gotta go over here and then go down. What we got going on over here? Give it another look. Comb it real thorough this time. Yes, Chief. Is something wrong? Anything we can help with? I wish it was that simple, but no. Ain't nothing you folks can help with. Guess it wouldn't hurt to fill you in, though. What? Parts for that weapon prototype went missing? Yup, we found it out when we were looking into Callahan's disappearance. Most of the parts are still here. It's not like the whole thing up and vanished. But there are little bits and pieces of our inventory missing. Our order sheets don't add up. And we haven't been able to find the missing parts anywhere. It's not just a few of them either. We're missing huge chunks of inventory. Too much stuff to count. Well, that's a bit alarming. You're talking about that weapon you showed us earlier, right? Yeah, that definitely ain't good, and you're right. I don't know how we could help with that. Smells like an inside job to me. No way the world-famous Giscard workshop just loses track of inventory like that. Damn straight, a lot of us here know about the weapon, but it's still a highly confidential project. We've taken extra steps to make sure nothing gets out. And all of the times, it just happened. It had to happen after I went and mouthed off to Townsend. Shameful, I tell you. You order parts online, don't you? I remember you showing me how that system worked. Do you think your inventory shortfall might be related to the network's problems the city's been having? Our youngsters suggested the same thing. It's not entirely off the table, no. I just like to think we were being more careful than that. How could we not, given everything going on? That's understandable, yeah. I find it hard to believe it was just an accident with how careful everyone's been. This feels premeditated. Yeah, with all the weird shit going on, it's hard to chalk anything up to coincidence right now. There's just so much going on. We'll keep an eye out for any leads about your parts, though. Thanks. Man, I'm sorry, folks. You got enough on your plate without us and our stupid supply hiccups. We're still trying to find Callahan, but we haven't got any good leads yet. Our best guess is that he's somewhere off the beaten path. Might have holed himself up somewhere on purpose, even. That does sound like a good guess. Well, if you learn anything, let us know. Alright, now what? We got a lot of info to work with now. Yeah, but I can't wrap my head around how it all fits together. Maybe talking it out will help. Is there a place we can chat in private? We can always head back to the inn. Actually, how about you all come to my place? You won't have to worry about people listening in there. Oh no, we couldn't impose on you like that. I really don't mind, and neither would Grant or Professor Hamilton. It's her house, but I'm the only one who lives there right now. Cool. We'll take you up on your offer. Kind of curious to see how the home of one of the Epstein's 3 disciples. Oh, I wouldn't expect too much. It's a normal family home. Anyway, we can head over whenever you'd like. I think we'll do this next scene before finishing things off. We gotta get back up to the 2nd floor. This way. Actually, you know what? This might actually be a big scene, so we'll probably end things when we get close to the house. What about those kids from yesterday? They're not around here. Alright, so next time we're going to go up to Professor Hamilton's house, aka Quatcher's house, and discuss all the information we have and see where it leads us. So, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.